Today I want to talk about believing in yourself. I want to continue encouraging anybody who watches my channel to believe in yourself. And what is this unbelief? Why don't we believe in ourselves? Why does it seem so hard to trust ourselves? Maybe because we've been lying to ourselves so much, and we don't quite know what to pay attention to. So, if you have a hard time believing in yourself, you doubt yourself, stick around, and we'll talk about ways of bolstering up our faith in ourselves. One of the, or probably the most foundational pillar to success is faith. That's pure knowledge. Clear, pure knowledge. So foundational that there's no guesswork in it anymore. It's a knowing that doesn't use logic anymore. Logic, most likely, is that part of you that can be abandoned. When it comes to deciphering your life, navigating your life, in the Bhagavad Gita, there's a statement that I always come back to, and that is, any attempt at a spiritual practice will calm your greatest fear. And you might say that a spiritual practice is a search into how to become fearless, where what appears as risk is the direction of life. And that the very steps that you are to take in your life lead you in a completely different direction than your logic, than the world, than the internet, than the church, than your parents, and the voice in your head. This is a way of questioning the world, society, realistic thinking. And that if you want to be a true pioneer, faith is leaning in towards the things that used to scare the bejesus out of you. Bejesus is a word, scare the shit out of you. And there are times where the shit is scared out of you for a second, but then the shit returns. The ignorance, the doubt, the fear. So, you have to learn how to trust yourself. Despite what feels like being afraid. And you'll have to do a lot of things with a profound sense of fear still within you. Because those things go together. Belief in yourself and disbelief in yourself are locked together. But one transcends the other. through a purity of knowledge which surpasses logic. And that's what I want you to know. How do we believe in ourselves? We should explore this thing called spiritual development. I don't care what it looks like. It could be meditation. It can be anything. But it is this keen draw towards silence and stillness. No matter what's going on around you, what's being said in your head, what's being said on the news, what's being fed to you in social media, what the internet says, what Google says, what the doctor says, what the bank account says, you name it. It is a distrust of that which seems to exist out there. You get keen on how slippery it is, especially the mind. Something doesn't feel right about the voice in the head. So I would encourage a spiritual practice, which is a deep dive into silence and nothing. Number 2, I would encourage prayer. Now, I am telling you to pray to yourself. I'm just like Krishnamurti. I believe he's absolutely right when he says when we pray to ourselves, we must admit that we're praying to ourselves. Most of us pray as if God out there, some universe out there, is going to pick up the message. You are to pray with yourself, which is a way of communing with yourself. Who am I? And you listen to that wordless answer. What do I want? And we listen to that wordless answer. What is my purpose? What am I afraid of? You question yourself. You cross-examine yourself. You cross-examine your beliefs. You cross-examine your thoughts. That's what's called self-examination. It's a cross-examination. Too many of us, though, dislike ourselves. That's the problem. So if prayer doesn't work, part of the reason is you don't like yourself. Well, you're stuck with yourself. So you've got to learn how to love yourself. And that includes everything about you. From your bald head to your body, to your skills, to your intellect, to your spirit. You must accept all aspects of yourself. So you pray to yourself, of course. You love yourself, of course. All of it. All the stinky parts, too, if you want to call it that. All the rolls of fat, all the wrinkles, all the stages you're in, all the ignorance, all the broken parts, all the addictions. This is a cross-examination. Prayer and finding a way to really love yourself. I'm not talking about in a narcissistic way. You have to understand what narcissism is. Narcissism is a fantasy that you can see yourself from the outside. This is seeing yourself from the inside out rather than from the outside in. You love your ideas. You love your voice. You love the way you express yourself. You love the things you produce. I don't care how elementary they are, or how rudimentary they are, or how homespun they are. You love the things that you create in much the same way as a child would create a painting for you and it looks like chicken scratch. It's wonderful. It's the sentiment that counts. It's coming from a pure heart. If you produce things from a pure heart, you love them. Trusting yourself or believing in yourself means to stop lying to yourself. Oh, I'm going to get to that after the holidays. I'm going to really start eating healthy after the holidays. You know that's a flat out lie. So if you keep lying to yourself, why would the truth ever come out? How do you talk to yourself? How do you insult yourself? You idiot. You good for nothing piece of shit. Self-talk. So a deep dive into the self will make you realize that maybe you've been betraying yourself. That you've been doing stuff that you know feels like forcing yourself to do something. When you force yourself to do something, why would you ever feel free? See, we force ourselves to do things all the time. This is part of it. We lie, we betray, we force ourselves. This is what's called denying yourself. All in the name of being nice or being accepted. But you really don't understand what it means to be nice to yourself. Being nice to yourself is making sure that the company that you keep, your own company, doesn't piss you off. Doesn't annoy you. You see, you can love anybody you want, but you don't have to love the company they keep. I love all people. But there are only a few people that I love their presence. You see, Jesus was supposed to have loved all people, but he chose only 12 to really spend intimate time with. So you are under no obligation to love the company of others. You can love them, but you do not need to love what it means to be with them, even if they're your own family. So you pay attention to what you love. Do you love the way you're eating? Do you love the way you're spending your time? Do you love the things you're doing? Do you love the things you are consuming? So when you do a cross-examination, this is what you would call a love review. They say when you die, you're going to go through a life review. I don't know how exactly it works, but the near-death experience is you go through a life review. And I think it's going to be a love review. Did you love the job you have? Then why are you forcing yourself to go to work? Do you love the company you keep with people? Then why are you forcing yourself to be with people? Do you love the food you choose to eat? Do you love the situations that you've created for yourself? It's a love review. And I believe that if we start looking at our lives from do I love this and do I love this and do I love... You're going to realize I don't love this. That's self-betrayal. I don't love being on social media all the time. What the hell am I doing on it? That's self-denial. I'll stop smoking next week. That's self-lying. See, we know we do this to ourselves. And we try to pray to some God out there, and we wonder why nothing works. Pray to yourself. What do you want? The reason why desires don't awaken in us is because we never really listen to them. We deny that we can possibly have the body we want, the mates we want, the kinds of work we want to do, and the typical lifestyle we want to live. We deny our desires, thinking that our desires are simply teasing us. There's no way I can possibly want or like this. We don't really listen to ourselves, and that's what prayer does. It makes you listen to yourself and that part of yourself that speaks wordlessly, desirously, what I would call a heartfelt desire, which you don't believe in. When a dream emerges, it's fragile. And if you insult it, it withers. Start a business? have a family, transform my body, write a book. Not me. And so why would the desire ever come to fruition? You don't think you can. You don't believe in yourself. And to believe in yourself would be to believe in your desires, believe in the situations you want to create for your life, believe in your goals. They're all coming from you. Why deny them? The biggest denier is money. That's the most powerful God in the universe. Money is a concept, and the concept has a power over you. There you go. You're believing in a false idol. To believe in yourself is to believe in something that's intangible, unseen, unknowable. To believe in yourself is to believe that potential resides in you. And I don't like to use words like God often, but I do. But why don't we substitute the word God for potential? Dear God, please help me fulfill my desires. Dear potential, help me fulfill my desires. That sounds different. Potential means dear possibility. At first, maybe it's maybe. Dear maybe. Dear boy, that would be awesome. Dear, oh my God, that is possible. Dear possibility, dear potential. You can't strip out the potential when you realize you are potential in fleshly form. Everybody is. And that potential for limitless expansion resides within you, always has. Do you believe in potential? Money is a symbol for potential, and we try to save potential in the bank. So you have $1 million of spending potential bound up in an account. That's what we think potential is. It's that you can put a limit on it. When you realize that you are potential, you'll spend all your money, use all your time, you just blow it in, because that's the unlimited supply. You are the resourceful one. Why do you have to save yourself, preserve yourself, hoard yourself? Keep expressing it. Keep letting it bloom. Let it come forth from you. You're just afraid you're going to run out, just like everybody else. You're afraid you won't follow through what you say. Sure you will. This is just getting out of your own way, that part of you that feels limited. Faith is unlimited. Crossing over that boundary of the logical mind, and you can transcend it. You can overcome it. Not by force. You will not overcome the logical mind by force. You will overcome the logical mind by becoming irresistible. No more resistance. No more denial of what your circumstances are. Everything's as is. But the more you expand your consciousness and expand your love for what is, the faster it happens, the easier it happens, because you've become irresistible. You've minded your manners. You've done a courtship with your own dreams and brought them to fruition in a very easy, playful, and loving way. It's hard to believe that faith in yourself is what makes your dream life possible. But that's what pure knowledge is. It's getting out of your own way and trusting in potential. Always there, always working, always prospering, always directly bringing you to success. Rather, success is being brought to you because you've earned the right to be there. earnestly, patiently. You've put virtue over competition. You've put patience over grabbing. You've put comportment over pouncing. Rather than the lowest common denominator getting whatever the hell you can get, you've reversed. And now you're the uncommon highest numerator. And that's going to lead you away from the crowd. And you'll begin to notice where everybody else is going, I go the other way. I go towards fear. I go towards risk. I go towards what the experts say I shouldn't be doing. And what allows you to do that is a trust in yourself. As the creator of the universe, what's stopping you? My name is Ryan. I hope that these words of inspiration helped you to believe in yourself more. I want to dispel the myth of believing in some God out there and to awaken the truth in you easily, effortlessly, and without hang-ups. Please check out my blog, mymorningmotivator.com.